Hi there, and thank you for tuning in on this presentation on cloud mining platform Bitclub network. My name is Edzard. I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about Bitcoin to start off with, cover what cloud mining is, and then we'll talk a bit about Bitclub network and their very exciting compensation plan. So let's dive right into it. What is Bitcoin? There's a really good book that you can Google, get the PDF. Bitcoin for the Befuddled by Conrad Barsky and Chris Wilmer. Brilliant book. The first 3 chapters might suit you. Thereafter they even get very technical on it. Your choice. I prefer not to delve too deep into the blockchain technology side of stuff. I'm much more interested in the exciting cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. So what is Bitcoin? In the simplest term, Bitcoin is just another currency. You can Google it. You can exchange it, you can use it to buy anything, literally these days. It's got a value, yes, currently quite volatile, as any young currency would be, but it's quite an exciting currency because it's ungoverned and it's basically money by the people for the people. In the book they also explain and say that the term Bitcoin refers to the entire currency system, whereas Bitcoins are the basic units of the currency. As with dollars, euros, yen and gold coins, you can save Bitcoins, spend them on goods and services and exchange them for other currencies. However, Bitcoin is the world's first currency that is both digital and decentralized. Now, a little bit of a history on Bitcoin. In 2008, a pseudonymous person or group, they're not quite sure who or what the person was, guy, female, what, started Bitcoin. And the very first transaction was between Satoshi Nakamoto, the founder of Bitcoin, and Hal Finney. They managed to send Bitcoin from one computer to another. I get very excited about Bitcoin and what it means. I want to go as far as saying to mankind and for the unbanked. But before I start telling you too much on what Bitcoin is, I'll show you a short video clip that explains it a bit better.
What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the first decentralized digital currency. Bitcoins are digital coins you can send through the internet. Compared to other alternatives, Bitcoins have a number of advantages. Bitcoins are transferred directly from person to person via the net, without going through a bank or clearinghouse. This means that the fees are much lower. You can use them in every country. Your account cannot be frozen, and there are no prerequisites or arbitrary limits. Let's look at how it works. Several currency exchanges exist where you can buy and sell Bitcoins for dollars, euros, and more. Your Bitcoins are kept in your digital wallet on your computer or mobile device. Sending Bitcoins is as simple as sending an email, and you can purchase anything with Bitcoin. The Bitcoin network is secured by individuals called miners. Miners are rewarded newly generated Bitcoins for verifying transactions. After transactions are verified, they are recorded in a transparent public ledger. Bitcoin opens up a whole new platform for innovation. The software is completely open source and anyone can review the code. Bitcoin is changing finance the same way the web changed publishing. When everyone has access to a global market, great ideas flourish. Bitcoins are a great way for businesses to minimize transaction fees. It doesn't cost anything to start accepting them and it's easy to set up. There are no chargebacks and you'll get additional business from the Bitcoin economy. For more information about Bitcoin, visit weusecoins.com.
I think that sums it up very nicely. Now, for us guys who want to know more about Bitcoin, I think it's more important to realize that there's websites like, for example, Coindesk.com, Bitcoin Venture Capital. Now, the people in the know are spending a lot of money on the underlying infrastructure for Bitcoin, which I think is really, really important to know. For example, the total all-time spending on the infrastructure is $1.348 million so far. And this is just from people who wish to declare it. It's not everybody. And the names that come up here is quite astounding. Way back in 2013, Google, they were one of the first to invest in it. Then there's interesting names, 2014 Richard Branson and the Winklevoss twins from Facebook fame. Other people or places, New York Stock Exchange, did you know that? the New York Stock Exchange has actually invested in Bitcoin and the underlying infrastructure. There's Goldman Sachs, quite a well-known name over there. There's Visa, Nasdaq, City Ventures, Capital One, the Naspers Group. For people in South Africa, they might know them quite well. JP Morgan, Santander, just to name a few. Thomson Reuters, Standard Chartered, Accenture Ventures, and for South Africa's Technology Innovation Agency, quite interesting. Bank of Tokyo, Mitsubishi, and so on. So yeah, big names who's spending money on it. So what I think is also important to realize is that Bitcoin is not the only cryptocurrency out there. There's more than 3,500 cryptocurrencies currently, as of 20th of January today, 2017, correctly, of which about 750 has actually got a tradable value. You'll note here Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, Monero, Dash. They all have a place in the cryptocurrency, let's call it marketplace. They each have a certain function that they fulfill. Bitcoin, of course, being the very first, and we'll talk about it later, but as on many of these cloud mining platforms, like Bitclub, you can actually mine not just Bitcoin, but Ethereum and something called Zcash as well. So what do I need if I want to have Bitcoin? You obviously need a place to keep it. It's also known as a wallet, so there's quite a few wallets out there. There's blockchain.info, Jax. And then there's other wallets that's got the functionality to make it easy for you to spend. For example, Zappo. Zappo is a normal debit card that you load Bitcoin on, a Visa debit card. And you can actually use it at any merchant that accepts Visa in most countries. You can even go and draw cash at an ATM. Load your card with Bitcoin, draw cash. Then there's other hardware or wallets that's known as hardware wallets, Digital Bitbox being one example of it. We all know how the hackers are quite busy all over the place. With something like a hardware wallet, like in Digital Bitbox's case, you actually remove, let's just call it the Bitcoin from the web itself. It then resides on your hardware wallet, so it's impossible to hack. Quite safe to keep your Bitcoin that way. And of course, once you've got a wallet, you need to get some Bitcoin, and you can find these on exchanges. Similarly to if you were to want to travel somewhere, and you're in South Africa, for example, you need to buy dollars. You would go to an exchange. Now, there's quite a few exchanges as well. One of them, ice3x.com. There's also Luno, previously Bitx. Those guys make it feel like it's a similar banking experience. They also, unfortunately for me, in my opinion, want you to KYC and FICA. Now, Bitcoin has got, to a certain extent, it's anonymous. So for me, it kind of defeats the purpose. Local Bitcoins and altcoin trader are much better suited there. They do not require you to give a sample of your own blood or give your ID or something. At local Bitcoins and altcoin trader, you actually trade directly with another person. So that person would, you would transfer physical cash to their bank account, and they would release the Bitcoins into your wallet, whether it is your local Bitcoin or altcoin trader wallet, and then you can safely transfer it from there to any other wallet you want to. So moving right along, let's have a look at what Bitcoin mining is. I'll show you a short video clip to clarify that one also a bit better than I can explain.
What is Bitcoin mining? Bitcoin operates as a peer-to-peer network. This means that everyone who uses Bitcoin is a tiny fraction of the bank of Bitcoin. But where do Bitcoins come from? With paper money, a government decides when to print and distribute money. Bitcoin doesn't have a central government. With Bitcoin, miners use special software to solve math problems and are issued a certain number of Bitcoins in exchange. This provides a smart way to issue the currency and also creates an incentive for more people to mine. And since miners are required to approve Bitcoin transactions, more miners means a more secure network. The Bitcoin network automatically changes the difficulty of the math problems, depending on how fast they're being solved. In the early days, Bitcoin miners solved these math problems with the processors in their computers. Soon, miners discovered that graphics cards used for gaming were much better suited to this kind of math. Graphics cards are faster, but they use more electricity and generate a lot of heat. The first commercial Bitcoin mining products included chips that were reprogrammed for mining Bitcoin. These chips were faster, but still power hungry. ASIC, or application-specific integrated circuit chips, are designed specifically for Bitcoin mining. ASIC technology has made Bitcoin mining even faster while using less power. As the popularity of Bitcoin increases, more miners join the network, making it more difficult for individuals to solve the math problems. To overcome this, miners have developed a way to work together in pools. Pools of miners find solutions faster than their individual members, and each miner is rewarded proportionate to the amount of work he or she provides. Mining is an important and integral part of Bitcoin that ensures fairness while keeping the Bitcoin network stable, safe, and secure. For more information about Bitcoin mining, visit bitcoinmining.com.
Okay, so as we saw in the video clip, mining pools play quite a role in it. At a stage, it was possible for people back in 2010, 11, 12 to mine Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies from their own home computers or laptops. It's no longer possible because of the huge computing power that you need. Now, there's quite a few mining pools out there. In other words, Bitcoin miners who come together and they all work out the mathematical algorithm to give them a better chance to actually create Bitcoin or be rewarded with Bitcoin. Over here we can quite clearly see Bitclub network, currently standing at 3.6%. One of the largest Bitcoin mines and pools in the world, as a matter of fact. They create quite a bit of Bitcoin as it stands at the moment. So yeah, let me show you, just because I think it's important for people to realize what these mines look like. Let's have a quick look at what a Bitcoin mine looks like. Alright, so we quite clearly saw Bitclub in that video. Little birdie told me that they actually located in a big data center up in Norway. So yeah, we saw that. So let's have a look at income streams. What makes Bitclub network so interesting? Now, I mine at quite a few mines, 8 of them to be precise. And I actually never joined Bitclub for their networking side. But I refer people quite often because people want to know, once they get to know Bitcoin, where does it come from? And I tell them about mining and cloud mining. And the majority of those people want to then actually, to a varying degree, invest in cloud mining. Now, 80% of these mines that I participate in give you a referral bonus in any case. It's a once-off little amount, varying anywhere from 2 to 10% on the initial buy from someone that you referred. So the initial computing power that they buy, you would earn a little amount from. Bitclub Networks makes this very exciting, and I'll explain why. So let's start. How do I earn commissions with Bitclub Network? The first thing that you need to do is you need to join them for a once-off fee of $99. Then you need to buy a share in a mining pool starting at $500. That will actually then make you a miner. Now, each mining pool share is valid for 1,000 days. Now, the reason being that computers and computing in general, computing power, we all know computers don't last. But there's also another reason, the difficulty level to create Bitcoin is increasing all the time. So you need to continually keep on buying computing power or shares in your mining pool. Now, Bitclub Network does a very wise thing, and I do it with all my mines in any case. They compound some of your earnings back into the mining pool. So in essence, you won't stop earning. By the end of your first 1,000-day mining pool contract, you might find that you have now 2.5 to 3 times the initial amount of computing power that you started with. So you will keep on earning from these mining pools. They've got 4 different options. The first mining pool is mentioned as is $500. You'll note that there's a credit number below it, 3 credits for pool 1. I'll discuss these credits just now because it's one of the bonuses that they reward you as a person that introduces someone to Bitclub Network. Pool 2 is $1,000, 6 credits. Pool 3 is $2,000, 12 credits. So if you introduce someone and they decided to sign up and buy $2,000 worth of mining shares, computing power, you would be earning 12 credits. Like I said, I'll explain that just now. And it's also possible for someone to buy all 3 of the mining pools. So pool 1, pool 2, pool 3, which will be $3,500, and it will equal 21 credits. It's important to note that these amounts are in Bitcoin. So there's Bitcoin in and Bitcoin out in Bitclub Network. There's no option to pay with a credit card or anything like that. So in pool 1, as I mentioned earlier, it will compound with a minimum of 50%. So whenever you earn in pool 1, 50% of your earnings will go right back to buy new mining power for you, like I explained, so that you will keep on mining for a long time and forever. In pool 2, the compound minimum is 40%, and all of these pools you can actually adjust it to as much as 100%, obviously. Then pool 3, your compound minimum is 30%. So like I said, you will never stop mining. Your mining pool compounds and actually grows over time. So let's have a look at some of their income streams. Binary team cycle bonus. This is a very interesting one. What happens over here is, obviously, initially you will sign up. You will become a miner. Now, we all know network structures. In this case, you need a miner left leg and a miner right leg. These can be friends that you introduced, obviously. These friends will introduce friends, and you will introduce friends, and so on and so forth. So your binary tree will fill up as displayed over here. Now, more typically, something like this is what would happen to you. You sign up, and then other people sign up under them, and so on. The empty orange circles, in this case, there's no miners in there. But it is possible to just get a spot in the binary tree from your $99. Obviously, it's not going to earn you any money or you won't be benefiting from the compensation plan or mining, obviously, for that reason. Now, let's say that all of these miners, just for simplicity's sake, bought a pool 1 mining contract. They will all earn you 3 credits. Now, whether they're your directs or indirects, in this case, left and right, you'll see 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, left and right. These 15 credits left and 15 credits on your right-hand side will actually earn you $200. So, quite amazingly, you get a kickback in the form of a binary team cycle bonus of $200 once you've got 15 credits left and 15 credits right. Now, this might seem like a little bit of a task. It's actually not. It's actually quite easy to, once people understand Bitcoin, like I said, and mining, to get people who are interested in mining. Now, here's the interesting thing that happens in the binary team cycle bonus. Like I said, you get your spot. You would find yourself a friend, your friend would find another friend, and maybe you find someone else that's not mining but bought an empty slot. That's in other words for the $99. Now watch this. This could be what they call spillover from your upline, and you will also earn $3 credits from this person that doesn't belong to you. You got it because your upline, the person who introduced you, created what they term as spillover. People need to fall somewhere in the binary tree. So if they fall underneath you and they're a miner, there you go. You've got your 3 credits that you earned from that miner. Now typically, again, you might sign someone up, they might sign someone up, some just for a spot, some might not be mining, others might. And it's possible that your upline creates, once again, spillover for you. if you've got 15 credits left and 15 credits right, whether these people are your directs, indirects, or spillover from above, you will get 15 credits left and 15 credits right, which again equals to $200. Now this is quite amazing. Now spillover is not guaranteed, eh? So I create spillover. I don't get people to make spillover for me. So it's very much your choice how quick you want to earn these binary team cycle bonuses. Now to earn them, you need to have certain ranks. So we all start as a miner. If you've got your $99 and your $500 minimum pool, so in other words, you decided to mine, then you will be ranked as a miner. You can cycle 4 times a day. In other words, you can earn $200 from 15 left, 15 right, 4 times a day, which equates to $800 a day worth of Bitcoin, or potentially $24,000 monthly. I'll go through the ranks just now and how you earn them, or what you should do. But as a builder, you can cycle 5 times a day. In other words, monthly potential $30,000. As a pro builder, 6 times a day, monthly potential $36,000. Master builder, $48,000 potentially monthly. And then finally a monster builder, potentially $60,000 a month, or 10 times a day. This is just from the binary team cycle bonus. Like I said, people that you've introduced to Bitcoin and Bitclub mining, or spillover from your upline. Next up, binary matching bonus. Now the binary matching bonus, what happens over here is that for each $200 cycle paid, there's another $80 paid to the upline through a maximum of 8 levels. Now as I reveal these, you'll see there's various ranks that you need to achieve this. Let's have a look at it in a simpler way in a table, which I think displays it a bit easier. What it basically says is that if my person that I've introduced were to cycle, in other words earn the $200, he would actually then get his $200, and I, because I introduced him, I'm the level 1 miner above him, will earn $10. The person above me, if he was also a miner, would also get $10. So on level 3 and 4, the person below me, it will pay up 8 levels depending on your rank. So the guy above me will not earn from 2 people below me unless he's a builder, because builders will earn 3-4 levels deep on bonuses, binary matching bonuses. Level 5 and 6, you need to be a pro builder to earn that deep, and then a master builder will earn 8 levels deep from people below him, in total $80. That was the binary matching bonus. So let's have a look at these Bitclub ranking system as we saw in the previous slides. A miner, we all start there. You don't have to sponsor anybody, and to become a miner you need to have a $99 membership and at least 1 share of any mining pool. You retain your title as miner for your life. A builder, you need to have sponsored 5 people. The total volume needs to be $10,000 in your lifeline. Now this is not spillover, eh? These are directs and indirect people. You need to sponsor 5 miners that have each sponsored 2 miners. So 5 guys that each got 2 people to get the rank of builder. A pro builder, you need a total of 3 builders under you in your enrollment tree, each from a separate leg. Master builder, you need a total of 2 pro builders in your enrollment tree, with each coming from a separate leg. And you'll note that there's a monthly qualification for this. So and then also the total volume that needs to be spent in your entire lifeline, direct, indirect, sorry, below you. And then master builder is quite a bit of money that the people your downline needs to spend. In other words, buy into mining pools, and it's also a monthly qualification. Now here's where it gets exciting for myself personally. Level up bonuses. Basically this full shares. This is what happens when you introduce people and they buy mining pools. So as we can see over here, your first 2 people, they will be your team 1. So for the first 2 guys that you introduce and they were to buy, let's say, a $500 mining pool, you will receive 5% of whatever they are purchasing. In other words, 5% of, let's say, $500 mining pool. So for your first 2 guys, they would also fall in your team 1. The next three people, in other words, your third, fourth, and fifth person, they will fall in your team 2. You would earn 6% of their, for example, $500 mining pool. And if they introduce their first 2 people, you would then receive 1% on that. So your third, fourth, and fifth person might go and introduce each 2 people, and you will receive 1% of what they are purchasing. Your team 3 is your 6th, 7th, and 8th person, on which you will receive 7% of their full shares, in other words, their initial purchase, and full purchases thereafter. In other words, you could be buying pool 1 to start, then later on buy pool 2, that will also be a full share, or pool 3. Now, on your 6th, 7th, and 8th person, their first 2 people you would earn 2% on, and their 3rd, 4th, and 5th person you would earn 1% on. So when your team 3 guys basically starts building their own team 2s, you would be earning 1% off those. It gets really exciting when you get to team 4. In other words, your 9th person that you enroll and up. On your 9th person that you sign up, you will earn 8% on their full share. Their first 2 people that they enroll, you would earn 2%. Their 3rd, 4th, and 5th person, 1%. The same with their 6th, 7th, and 8th person. In other words, their team 2 and 3s, you would earn 1%. And then their 9th person and up, you would earn 1% of whatever they purchase in full shares. You would also, on those 9 of the first 9, I know it gets confusing, the team 4's team 4, 1%, team 4's team 4's team 4, 0.5%, team 4's team 4, team 4, team 4, another 0.5%. Look, I know it gets a lot the first time you hear it. The point of this is your aim is to get at least 9 people and more, because then you start earning on basically everybody that falls under you and their initial, not initial, but their buys. So whenever they buy into the pool, their mining pools, you would earn on that. Now remember, there's pool 1, 2, 3, there's also the founder pool, but there's also Zcash mining and Ethereum mining. So they might want to buy that as well, and you would also earn on that because it is a full share buy. So that's not just the end of that. What gets exciting is the level up repurchase partial shares. Now what this means, in short, is that if your team 1, your first 2 guys, then start compounding, because remember, in pool 1, they need to compound 50% of their whatever the mine is creating for them in Bitcoin, in this example. And when they rebuy, as the system forces them to do, in essence, you will earn 10% of that rebuy. Now I see it in my team, it's give or take, when they initially start, 7 to 10 days before they do their first rebuy. It's a couple of cents, but these cents add up. So your first 2 guys, on their compounding, their partial shares, you earn 10%. On your 3rd, 4th, and 5th person, your team 2, you would earn 12%. And on your 3rd, 4th, and 5th person, their first 2 people, you would also earn 2%. On your team 3, 6th, 7th, and 8th person, you would earn 15% on their partial shares, their compounding, their rebuy. Their first 2 people of the 6th, 7th, and 8th person. So in other words, team 3's team 1, you would earn 5%. Team 3's team 2, you would earn 3% of their rebuy. Team 4, once again, that's where it gets really exciting, 18% on their compounding. Remember, this is on their rebuy initially, when they start, week to 10 days, 18%. On their first 2 people, 8%. Their 3rd, 4th, 5th person, 6%, 6th, 7th, 8th person, 3%. Their 9th person and above, 2%. Again, the strange sounding team 4 on team 4 on team 4, 1%. Team 4, team 4, team 4, 1%. So I think you can see it becomes a lot of money potentially. In short, these kind of things all work the same. Find as many people as you possibly can that is mining. All the time you'll be earning off your own mining as well. So even if you can't find a single person, what we've seen typically, depending on how much you compound, depending on the price of Bitcoin, depending on the difficulty level within Bitcoin mining, it's give or take 18 months before you will then show a complete return on investment. In other words, your initial $600, $599, $99 plus $500, you would have gotten back from your mining. Now that is quite incredible. Like I said, this is dependent on Bitcoin price and difficulty level. Might take a little bit longer, might take a little bit shorter, but you do get your money back even if you do nothing. That's not the end. There's also residual infinity bonuses. I'm not going to go into too much details, but once you're a builder, your first generation builders, 1% generation 2, 1% generation 3, 0.5% pro builder, 1%, 1%, 0.5%, master builder 1%, 1%, and then nothing on the third generation. I know this is a lot. There is on the Bitclub network website another PowerPoint presentation. It's not the same as this one, and the full explanation in a written format of this entire compensation plan. In short, welcome to our team. If you decide to join, please click on the links below, and I hope to see you soon in our team. Thanks so much for your time.